I've been researching. I found the Sullivan Project podcast. This guy heralds up to date on everything spiritual, metaphysical, paranormal, and supernatural. He also includes a contact phone number. Great. Give him a ring. Then we get drive through.
Hey Roku, press stop. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sullivan Project podcast. I'm your host, Harold Sullivan. Thanks to the Winchesters for that opening. If y'all want to check out any of the promos or trailers for the podcast or any of the content, please go to Harold Sullivan 78 on YouTube and TikTok. Harold Sullivan period 35 Facebook. And you can also email hs19782015 at outlook.com, and you can call the show 724-513-1472. Leave a message if you don't get me, and we're taking guest audio. If you want to just say something, or if you want to get out a message, I'll get it out for you. And if you want to be a guest, we talk about everything. This podcast is about everything for everyone. Metaphysical, supernatural, spiritual, paranormal, supernatural. I think I said that one already. A lot of it's about that, as we can see, but what is supernatural? You know what I mean? And then sports, entertainment, art, food, family, whatever, just TV, music, lots of music, wrestling. If you're a fan of anything, I think this is 250 now, episode 250. So hundreds of episodes. Each episode has different topics, all different kinds of stuff. I try to keep it all mixed up so everybody can come here and enjoy stuff. It's a place to not be judged. Try to keep swearing down minimum, you know what I mean? No crap. So please, give us a rating. We're at 495 on YouTube right now. Need 5 more subscribers to get 500. Then I'm gonna try to celebrate a little bit. I told Chris who's been on here before, Chris, Danny, Greg, Randy, Dan, let's see here, and there are friends of mine that have been on, and a few other people, but everybody's helped. If you've only checked one video out or hit a share, I appreciate it. So I told Chris, I'm going to order some food maybe or something. We live in different counties, so maybe I can pay for his food to get delivered, and then I'll eat mine. It's a shame, though, I can't get it from the same place because it's a different area, different. But he has a place he likes to get, and I'll get one, and we'll eat at the same time in different places. You know what I mean? You celebrate. Make it the way you want it to be, the way you can. It ain't got to be all extravagant, but maybe do a little bit of what you want to do. If you can't do the whole thing, just try. Make the moment. If you're feeling sad, like I've been going through times lately, I guess you could call it depression, where I haven't really felt like doing nothing. But I've been in pain too. I'm a lot in pain, and that makes you. I was born with an autoimmune disease, in case y'all haven't tuned in before, and I've been blind over 4 years now, and I'm almost 47. I haven't been able to walk since I was a child, and I'm in constant pain. Every types of pain. And so, how's it? It's hard to get. It's hard, to want to do anything, to be motivated. So I get times where I just don't want to do, and I just talk, in my head or out loud, and I just ask for the strength, and I just say, hey, I made it this long. I'm still here. Why am I here? Why are you here? We still got stuff to do. So let's do it, So I appreciate y'all, and I love y'all. Love is a choice, and so is the hate. Remember that. You have the choice. You can let it affect you one way or the other, but you're the only one that can feel the pain, no matter what you try to do to someone else, which is wrong. If you try to inflict pain on them because they did it to you, or you're in pain, period, you want to go out and hurt others, that's wrong. Okay, because you still can't get rid of that, and they can't feel it. They'll feel something, but it ain't going to be what you feel. So you fix you, take care of you. Everyone can't be fixed, but they can all be saved. Save yourself, and then you'll love everyone else. And no matter what, accept them. Just be like it is what it is. Don't try to change them. Don't try to want them I mean, you could want them to wish them to be different, but that's because it was you want it. They got to be them. There's a, it's hard, but there's a place for everybody. So I've been mentioning angels, people that passed away recently. Again, that I used to mention names in the beginning of the podcast, and I'm not sure if I mentioned Carl recently. There's a couple Carls. One was Danny's sister's husband. They had a baby together. I actually went to high school with him. He was a good dude. And then when the baby was a couple years old, they were in a car accident and Carl was killed. He was the only one killed. And then I didn't even know that she had another husband by common law marriage that he died. So I told him, I said, damn, I sort of cussed there. Well, damn is a damn. But I said to Danny, I said, your sister's got something, her energy. Like there's something, certain people, when you work with energy like I do, you just know she's got something with her or around her. That's not just a coincidence. Two husbands passed. I told him, I said, I want to be the next guy. Go with her. Oh, I'm getting the hiccups, or whatever you call it there. I don't know what it's called. I call it a herp, hiccup, burp, because it's not really a hiccup. It's a mix. But yeah, I love Carl. I think there was at least one or two other Carls that I've known that have passed. And it's close to like 40 people that I've known that died. Like I said, I'm here. Why are you here? It's not just to play games. It's not to hurt. It's not to steal. It's not to sin. It's to love, help the planet, help you, help everybody else be better, and just enjoy stuff. Enjoy it no matter how, whatever it is. You don't need stuff. If you're sad because you got too much stuff and you're missing something, then you got too much stuff. I've never needed a lot of stuff. I always given away stuff or whatever, or got stuff and thrown away some. But when I figure it goes somewhere, somebody might find it. Now as I'm older, I don't do that. I always make sure there's a place for everything. But I don't need a lot of stuff. I don't really need anything. I'm physically handicapped, so I need things. But I like as far as wants, I've had a time where I had all the money in the world, went to the mall and didn't buy nothing, just got some food to eat because I didn't need or want anything. Money just can't is not the happiness. It's a piece of paper with green print on it, get green ink. So really, gold and silver and that are actually and all that kind of stuff. That's actually a real physical thing. Come from the earth is more valuable. Crystals and gemstones that cost only a couple of dollars. Think about it. You can go buy a crystal for a couple bucks, put it in your pocket, or hold it for a couple minutes a day, and you'll feel better. So, and speaking of that, I still got essential oils. I got stuff I'm giving out. Just let me know. I'll send it to you free, no charge. Uh, Contact the show. Oils, hats. I got a couple of those made up. I got some pens. I got some bumper stickers still. I think people still use those. I don't know, but I got some made up to give away. So, oh man. And then let me tell you about Laura Green. They actually made it good. They called me after a couple months because they had got a vape pen. I got one off of them. It broke, but I'm still supporting them. Go check out Merchant Street in Ambridge, Laura Green in Pennsylvania. And they called me up, made it good, sent me another one, and a couple candy bars. They got edibles. You can go right in, don't need a card. Okay, so you can go in, they make all the candy, all the edibles around. It's very good. I've tried a few of their things, not everything, but I've tried the candy bars. I've tried the vapes. I've disposables too. You can just throw them away, which is what I like. I've tried gummies, very good gummies. Rice Krispies too. They got it all. So go check that out. And I got another order from Mood.com. I've been getting a couple things from them, trying them. They got the best Rice Krispies, the best cookies. Now I got brownie bites. They're 20 milligrams of THC. And this is another place you can order. You don't need a card. Call, or I don't know if you can call. I did, but you can go online and use your card, and they'll send it right to you, no matter what state you're in, if you have a card or not. THC, CBD, Delta, whatever them numbers, all that stuff. Just make sure you know what it is, because I got something with a couple of different Deltas, all three, and it was too much. It was the gummy rings. Everything else I've tried, I got some taffy from them. It's great. There's like different flavors in it, like cherry cheese, like some kind of cheesecake, and like a peanut butter. There's like, I don't know how many different flavors, but I got a bag of 10. It's $35. But if you want 75, it's only, no, not 70. What did that lady say? Good Lord, I don't remember. But if you double it, I think I think.
Notification from
Oh
Outlook.
yeah, what's that?
David C. at Mood. Police cars revolving like urgent.
Oh boy, this is the
Senate
third.
just voted to kill legal THC.
Is that something? Oh,
We can still stop it.
oh,
Hey Harold.
okay.
Last night, the U.S. Senate voted to kill the legal THC industry, a blatant attack on your rights and freedoms.
Really? Wow.
THC is legal.
Okay.
It has been since the 2018 Farm Bill was passed.
Exactly.
The Senate is now trying to rewrite history and outlaw
Hey Roku, turn power off.
actions.
Well, there we go. Is that something we all? While I'm doing this, like an email from Mood. He's been emailing me lately, automated emails, because I guess they're trying to shut down all the places they're selling this THC. I didn't know that it was legal.
Sorry, that's not yet supported.
Hey Roku, turn power off. I don't know what it was doing, listening to everything I said there. But yeah, I didn't know 2018, so that's why some of these places are allowed to sell certain things. I'm not sure about all that. You know, why there even is. You know what I mean? I don't know, but you can get certain places. Right now you can get it from Mood. The taffy, everything I've tried there is good. My favorite thing is the Rice Krispies. They're like 10 or 11 bucks, and you get 50 milligram if you want that size. 50 milligram of CBD and THC. And I break it up in 3 or 4 pieces. I'll eat 1 piece a day. And then vaping, I am good. My hip is still hurting me though, but I got the popsicle sticks glued on the leg rest. Got some kind of foam moleskin stuff over it, and then that's my new leg rest. So that's how I figured out how to fix that after 3 or 4 years of not having a good leg rest on here. My leg is sitting on popsicle sticks on the one side, so that I have something for it to sit on instead of it dragging, because the wheelchair people didn't make the wheelchair right and couldn't help me fix it for some reason. As well as the cushion. I got a $20 Amazon cushion because I was getting sores for years, and then 3 times they brought the wrong kind of cushion out, and then it's just too much. And I'm still having trouble getting the batteries, and this is from a new company, because I tried to switch from the old company, and the new company's playing around, saying they got called me. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here, right here. But yeah, check out Mood, Lord Green. If stuff helps, I'm going to bring the product to y'all. I don't get paid. I'm not endorsement or whatever, but it helps me. Just like audio books or whatever I listen to, I'm going to bring it to y'all. So there we go with that. And then how about the first thing we're going to talk about is Above the Rim. Now, this is the 4th Tupac movie that I've checked out. And this is all since I lost my sight. This one's probably my least favorite of Tupac. It's more of Marlon Wayans, and then Bernie Mac is in there. It's about a basketball player who kind of got to decide between the street life and getting in trouble and all that, and then he's trying to make it as a pro or go to college and make it. So, but they got Tupac playing, another thuggish character, kind of like he was in Juice, which is my least 2 favorite. Gang related and Poetic Justice, just both were great, both good. I'd probably give it a 6.5. I mean, it'd be lower, but it's a good movie though. I mean, Tupac still stands out. When it's him on there, I mean, and that's what makes a good presence. Even though it was the Marlon Wayans show with all that cut, like it's just overacting is what I call that. You got him overacting, and you got Tupac being serious. You know what I mean? But we're doing that there. And then let's talk about, since we said we're doing music, I reviewed the 6 Rocky movies recently. Go check that out on the podcast. I'd appreciate it. And so number 6, all 6, there were some good soundtracks in Rocky. John Cafferty, who actually did the music for Eddie and the Cruisers and Eddie Lives, the second one. I recommend both those movies. They're about a band, kind of like New Jersey band, Philadelphia band, back in I'm not sure what decade, but a few decades back. And it's just a good movie, a fictional band. And John Cafferty did the soundtrack for Rocky 4, at least I know of. Hearts on Fire, Strong Desire, that song. And then there's a couple other songs. And then he did Eddie the Cruiser, which is on the dark side, and Boardwalk Angel. And Betty Lou got a new pair of shoes. I think that's a cover. And I had the soundtrack. I used to have it. Eddie Lives too. Where Eddie, spoiler, Eddie dies at the end of Eddie in the cruisers, but in 82 he lives. So it's like he survived somehow. I forget. It's kind of like the Elvis thing where they said Elvis was still alive all those years, and they still try to say that about most of the celebrities that passed. Or they passed oddly, or they can't really explain why, or they don't know, or they didn't find the body or evidence. I'm not sure if that ever happened. I think it may have. So, and this is weird, yeah, on Halloween, right, on November 1st this year. There was trick-or-treating here. Halloween ain't on Halloween. That's another thing. Blasphemy. In my whole life, almost 47 years, uh, never heard of Halloween after Halloween. And we didn't even, when I was younger, it was on, trick-or-treat was on one day. It might even have been only on Halloween. It wasn't a day or two earlier. And so all the people could go in different towns on different days. And I mean, that makes sense for safety because if the whole world's going trick-or-treating at the same time on one day, I thought it was smarter to go out earlier and on different days. But after Halloween, God, that's all complain about it. That's stupid, doesn't make sense. Computer, what are my stickies?
I found 57
This is how I've been
notes.
taking notes since I lost my
Smelly
sight.
family physical performance hero sacrifice
We're getting ready
movie
for-
numbers. Right or wrong girl next door don't get
These are
mad.
title songs.
80's Toys Rocky soundtrack Fantastic Four books Carl Robert Englund Bible above the rim.
Okay, Robert Englund just got his star in the Hall of Fame, the Walk of Fame, and you can go check it out on YouTube. Around Halloween time this happened. Heather Langenkamp and Eli Roth came out. Heather just was great, told some stories in there. Robert told 4 or 5 stories. The only Robert, I mean, he just got stories. I would love to. He's one of the people he was on Cameo years ago. I also do have cameos and celebrities on the podcast, so go check those out. But it was before I could really afford it, and I really can't now. But Robert, I have had the other Nightmare on Elm Street people on. Heather was on there too, but she's gone. But they both have some stories on there. Go check it out. I mean, Robert English. And at the end, of course, he says something in Freddy, kind of a Freddy voice. So if you would, just for that, check that out. I didn't really. The guy doing the announcing at the beginning was kind of stumbling all over the place. But that's what he does. He didn't think. Oh, you would think he'd be better though, because he does that every year. He's like a chairman of the Hollywood, whatever. But that's okay. Check it out, Robert Englund, Hall of Fame, Freddy Krueger, Phantom of the Opera. Oh, he's actually about to be in a Pinocchio animated call, and he's going to be Jiminy Cricket, so the voice. And then Heather. Oh, and then he's going to be in Stranger Things season 4, Robert Englund. And then Heather is going to be in It, I believe, the TV show. Something to do with Stephen King, so they talked about that, so go check that out. For Fantastic Four, First Steps, my review, I'll give it a 7. I put it up probably with the new Superman, maybe a little behind it, not ahead though, which I thought I would. But after it, I mean, there's really not much to it. Spoilers, you know what I mean? There's flashbacks of them getting their powers. It is a Fantastic Four movie, though, more like the others, as far as the news and the people knowing who they are and them being celebrities. But yeah, they get their powers. They're fighting Galacticus a few times, whatever. Silver Surfer's in there. And then at the end, Doctor Doom shows up. But you don't see his face and you don't hear him. He's just there. And we don't know if it's Robert Downey. He's supposed to be Robert Downey Jr. somehow. I don't know if he's just going to look like him. How can he be Robert Downey Jr. be 2 characters in like 2 different universes? But I don't even understand the point of that. Just give me a different actor playing him, playing Von Doom. Von Doom is not Tony Stark. I just saw a flash of light here before I just said Von Doom is not Tony Stark. So I've been seeing orbs and stuff since I lost my sight, in case y'all haven't tuned in. So rewind and see if he sees flashes of lights when I do anything. It's all dark, but I've been seeing colors and other, just stuff that lets me know there's other levels. You know, believing isn't seeing, it's conceiving. There's so much out there. That's a Sullivanism that I've written. But yeah, Fantastic Four's on, it's on Disney right now, Plus, I believe. And then see here, what else do we got? We got some books, which I'm going to recommend here. Computer, what are my stickies?
I found 57 notes. Smelly family
Sully
physical
is
performance hero
the Sully
sacrifice
Awards
movie
second
winners.
annual will be coming
Right or
up.
wrong girl next door, don't get mad. 80's Toys Rocky soundtrack, Fantastic Four books, Carl Robert Englund, Bible above the rim.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. We did one Sully awards for one of them so far, and this is season 4, I think. I'm gonna do another one. So there's gonna be odd subjects for the main Sully awards, like best physical performance. Example would be Evil Dead 2, when Ash's hand comes to life. And then I got another one. Best hero sacrifice would be, and another two actually would be Spock at the end of Wrath of Khan, when the needs of the few outweigh, or the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And, so those are examples of what could be in the categories for the Sully Awards for the second one. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it at the end of this season or beginning of next season. And then we got some 80's toys we'll talk about, and then books. Or 80's, this is some of my favorite toys growing up, period, when I was a kid. Because I didn't have toys. I could use my hands up until certain spots. Better and better, or up to a certain point, until they got worse and worse. So I had He-Man, of course. We loved He-Man. The newest He-Mans at the end came out with battle damage. You'd hit him in the chest with something, or ram one of the other He-Man heads, and then the chest piece would flip over like he got damaged. And they started putting that on cars and stuff. We had Crash Dummy toys. At the end, we lived down by police, and then there's a fire right up the road. Jesus. And that makes me, I don't like that sound. It's a bad sound. When people hear that, it's not good usually. Nothing makes that sound as good. Why is that? Except for hockey scoring a goal, but it's a little bit different. And I've never been to an actual hockey game, even though I played street hockey for several years. And went to Minnesota to play in a power wheelchair hockey tour. So, but we didn't have it like that siren like that. G.I. Joe, the little ones, I had those, not the big ones. Those are before I was born. I might have had a couple though. Legos, of course, were like my favorite, but I had to get people to help me build them a lot. Then I could play with them after that. Thundercats, I had Voltron. Those are the best. You had to buy like the different pieces. Voltron was basically Power Rangers before that, but they never came out and fought. They were just in the robot and driving it, and they were which one was dino? They were cats, and the new ones, yeah. Power Rangers were dinosaurs. Voltron were like cats, different lions and things, and they would join together to make a giant robot. And then we had Transformers, of course, which was a cartoon they turned into later. One called MASK, which was these little action figures, and they had vehicles that would turn from one vehicle to another, and they were the coolest things ever. And they had little, like, tiny, real small, like 2 or 3 inch figures, that their arms and legs didn't bend. They would just move up and down, but they didn't bend. And then the heads, you could put these little masks on. They were the coolest things ever. And what else did we have? I talked about Nintendo in the last podcast, if you all want to go check that out. And yeah, 80's toys. I mean, then we had the little Matchbox cars. Micro Machines came out in the 80's and 90's, of course. There was just so many great. Knight Rider had a big 8-inch figure and then like a 15-inch car that talked. That was the greatest thing. You push a license plate and Kit would say some stuff. The front lights would light up and make that sound. Michael Knight didn't really look like him. He had that like afro on him. Just some white dude with an afro. And I think he had like a black leather jacket painted on. You know what I mean? They never really get stuff looking like or looking right. But there was an A-Team that were made out of the same stuff that the G.I. Joe figures. And then you had the van. And then you had the dude Face from A-Team had what's the Face? Maybe I think it was a Magnum PI that had a car. Yeah, I think they actually had a Magnum PI action figure that had a car. They had Indiana Jones. They had Karate Kid for the movies. Indiana Jones. You'd squeeze their legs and their arms would move. You'd squeeze their arms and their legs would move, like kicking and punching. And then you had Justice League, like all those figures from the 80's. I mean, there was some great stuff going on there. Remote control cars, but they had wires still. You know, you had to sit there behind it. You couldn't go but 10, 20 feet in front of you. and I never got into them much. Being in a wheelchair and driving that, I didn't really. So, but that's a lot of toys you can check out. There was a game called Simon. I don't know if it was on the 80s, probably, or before that, which was sounds and lights and music. And it was like a board game, but just a little round thing, and you would hit the button real fast. And then they evolved to that skip jump roping thing that you put on your foot. I forget what that was called, you'd leap over. But it was something like that. It was a very cool game. We had cool board games. We had an X-Men game that came out with little figures. People started painting them, and they sell them. They're worth a lot of money now. The X-Men board game. And then there was some magic. I can't remember the series of magic tricks that came up that you could get. It was like $10. It was expensive for like one trick, but I used to get them. My dad used to give me a $10 allowance in the 80s, and I'd get 2 or 3 things, and he'd be like, "How can you, be in there that long trying to pick out?" I'm trying to figure out the best thing I can get for a best price, add the tax in. What can I come back next time and add to, and get more? And then I used to collect cards too, but that's a whole other thing. 50 cents a pack. You could get cards with a piece of bubble gum, but you didn't want to eat the bubble gum. That stuff was so hard and old and nasty even then. But they had everything from Dick Tracy and Ghostbusters and Back to the Future, and just movie cards. So Ninja Turtles were the coolest ones because they came out with those. So, and now we're going to get into some books. I mean, talk about some books I recommend, audio books. I'm actually on one about the Beatles right now. It's a biography. Just got done with the Mike Tyson one I reviewed. And All-Star Superman has been turned into a book on Audible, the comic book series. So go get that on there. I'm not a spokesperson, but without finding the audio Bible was my first audio book. You know what I mean? I don't know where I'd be at. I'm actually in my 26th time now, starting an audio Bible in 4.5 years. So, oh man, it's 87 hours too each time. So some of my favorite books I can remember because there's hundreds of books I've listened to now, 300, 400, 500. Of course, the classics: Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, Invisible Man, very good. A Phantom of the Opera. The first 3 James Bond. John Carter is a book. Jaws was a book. Psycho was a book. There's a book called Wreck of the Titan that has a different name, but it was basically what happened to the Titanic before the Titanic crashed. Like this dude knew he got and so the book is fiction, but it's basically the real story of what happened. Like he knew what was going to happen. I recommend that. The Matrix is based off a book called Neuromancer or something. That's a very good one. Ready Player One, Ready Player Two is on Audible, I believe. I haven't checked out Ready Player One, but the movie was great, So I don't think they'll ever do part 2 in the movie because part 2 the book just went so far out there that they can't do it. They can do everything with a movie, but not everything. The Ghostbusters movie, first 2 adaptation novels were good, and then we have stuff like The Day After Roswell, and then we have Women Are from Venus, or Men Are from Mars, Women Are from Venus. These are famous books. The Past Life Frequency. Let's see. And then we have, oh boy, I got so many of them. We got Michael Jordan The Life, which one is about Michael Jordan, and I recommend that's a good one. And then there's a lot of biographies. I can't remember what Britney Spears one that she did. There's one about Britney Spears, though. I think it's something woman or girl in the title. I can't remember that one. There's a lot of Back to the Future one that's called We Don't Need Roads. It's about the whole trilogy. There's one about the making of the original Friday the 13th called Back to Blairsville. Blairstown, I think it's called, which I think is actually in Pennsylvania, the state I'm from. And that's where they shot the first Friday the 13th, like the town parts. And then there's so many. You wouldn't think. There's one about the Godfather, hold the gun, drop the cannoli, or keep the gun, leave the cannoli, something like that. And the Godfather, of course, is a book. The first couple, The movies, they just ran with something. The first movie is based a lot on the book. After that, it's just so. But the books, The Godfather. I mean, if you want, I got all kinds of different ones that you can check out. So I appreciate y'all and trying to bring different resources, different things. There's a couple of hockey. Mark Messier has a book called No One Wins Alone. He's a hockey player. He used to play for, of course, the team with Gretzky and the Oilers and won all those cups. And then the Rangers. He was a Rangers captain, Vancouver Canucks player. And then Brian Trottier, that won the cups with the Islanders and the Penguins, he has one. All Roads Lead Home, where it talks about how you need, family, and you don't just win alone. You don't just do anything alone. Think about it. Nobody does. You get up, you go out and do stuff. People help you along your way. You ain't doing nothing alone. So you need other people. They need you. We all got to work together, all as one. I love y'all, and we'll be back soon. Be the light. Love's a choice, and so's the hate.